What's the crack, lads? Welcome to part 2 of what needs changing in eFootball 2025. If you missed part 1, it was all about content. This is going to be on the pitch action and gameplay. So make sure you subscribe and hope you enjoyed the video. So we're going to start and kick off with the meta. The meta has not changed, I would say, since PES 2020. Now you're going to see here, this is essentially what the meta is. It's no time spent on the ball, all one-touch passing up the pitch, waiting for the AI to make the run, and then those little intricate 1-2s and delayed passes in around the center of the pitch. And also from a defensive point of view, you can literally constrict people right here as well, where they're just not going to be able to breathe. If you are going to be doing this, you also need to be patient enough for your AI to make the runs. But essentially, it's being AI assisted, right? It's waiting for the runs to actually work. Here's a brilliant example. We try a 1-2, doesn't go through. This time the AI switches off from our opponent and boom. The difference is that we score a goal. So you keep knocking on the door, eventually you're going to get through. Again, another little 1-2 roll. And you're going to see all these goals are similar finishes. They're rolls into the bottom of the corner of the net. Again, you've got a rip open here. We square it to Rummy. He walks it in. How are we going to finish? A little tap across, a little pass into the net. Now, this is 4 centre-back or 5 centre-back when you have your DMF as a deep line, as you'll see in the individual instructions. This has been the meta for years, right? And ever since eFootball launched, people are finding this, whether they use it as a sub-tactic. You've got 3 centre-forwards. You've got 4 centre-backs. You've got your midfield as a war zone. Sometimes is no man's land, it's like barren, and the other times it's just completely constricted. Now listen, boys, you guys that watch me regularly, okay, you know I can play meta, and you know I can play anti-meta, you know I can, beat meta and all this, but the problem is, right, when you're coming up against God squads, irrespective of the opponent's skill level, if they're playing meta and they're playing central, and they've got a really good team, the game becomes infinitely more difficult. It's not about losing to really top ranked players like these guys pushing rank. It's more about the gameplay being constricted to that middle of the pitch and that central area of the pitch. So next up, we're going to talk about a massive bugbear for me, lads. It is the overall kind of player freeze, unresponsiveness of the defenders, and the AI switching off at vital times, right? You can't really do anything. Now, you might say, Barry, you're not a top ranked player. Well, listen, we're going to take some clips from the FIFA E finals where you're playing and looking at some of the best players in the game, right? And you will see that it's not just me making these mistakes or so-called mistakes. These are not really mistakes, man. It's just the AI doing silly things and the logic of the AI just switching off, not knowing whether they're attacking or defending. That's what happens. The animations go into a loop and it doesn't break out of that loop quick enough for you to switch between defense and attack. So in these clips that you're seeing here, you will see a lot of the time the ball will go up into the area of the pitch. There'll be a heavy touch. That's obviously something, that happens a lot of the time. I don't really have a huge issue with this, but this I do have a huge issue with here, right? When I switch to Rijkaard here, instead of him tracking the ball like the AI is doing, I should not switch to Rijkaard there. So imagine a game that is actually denying you or actually punishing you for manually trying to defend. I should have just let the AI defend in all these situations and my player wouldn't run out and do stupid things. But that goes against the whole point of actually being a good defender in the game, which I have an issue with, right? And I do think that they need to look at it because that overall responsiveness in the box still seems to be an issue. It just seems to be kind of popping up every now and again, especially in the latest patch. But let me know what you guys think about that. We could go on and on and on. Next up, we have a small few clips on shoulder charge. Now, again, lads, this is something I think personal to me. Everyone has a thing that they don't really like about in the game, right? You've got the full blue, you've got, 6 at the back, you've got 3 DMFs. It does get called every now and again, but I genuinely think they need to switch up shoulder charge. It should be an automatic yellow card if you do it more than twice in a game. You can see here, Van der Vaart just bullies Rijkaard or Hullet off the ball, and then it's just going to be a tap in, although he does shit his pants, but he doesn't score. But it could have been a goal, right? And that's very frustrating. Very, 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 very frustrating when somebody does that all game. Next up, we have to talk about passing. Now, I could have done a full video on passing, and I might still do it because I think it is probably the biggest thing in the game that people complain about. You can control the passes if you cut the angles and you play the angles, right? But if you're just sitting down to play casually, it's very, very, very easy to do these type of moves, right? It doesn't matter. This is against a Division 1 player, and we just simply slice and dice because our passes are on point and we're just keeping it simple. But if you do try to play a couple of different passes, like this is another nice crossing goal there, the variety is there. But if you do try and kind of switch it up, you can get punished. A lot of the time you'll see these clips here. The ball is bouncing, the ball is bobbling, there's interceptions, there's rebounds, the ball is one clean and then it goes back to the opponent. You try put a simple pass. Most of the passes that you'll notice, the flight of the ball and the angle of the ball, it kind of invites the opponent or the AI, the defense, whatever team is defending. It gives you that little dangling carrot that you can win every ball or block every ball. And then in other games, you literally can't touch the ball if you'd 40 players on the pitch. It just seems to be that balance there of, okay, you're going to be able to have 50 interceptions in this game, or you're going to be able to have 10 interceptions. Because when it flows, the passing is quite nice. But this is my biggest problem. This kind of, proves that the game doesn't really want you holding on to the ball. Look how slow the ball is. Look how horny the AI is to get across. Now, it's a terrible pass for me. Of course it is. But there's no other option for me there but to hoof the ball. If I don't want to hoof the ball, I have to accept that I'm going to concede a goal there, which is a pity. And last but not least, lads, we touched on this in the first video that we did in part 1, right? I have a big issue with the game at the moment in terms of the grind, right? I don't have time, personally, as a content creator. My channel is based around entertaining and it's based around having the banter and having the crack and just bringing news daily. I do daily videos, sometimes 2 videos a day, but mostly we do a lot of videos every month, like 50 videos a month, where we keep you guys up to date. I think the problem with the game at the moment is that you either are logging in and getting your rewards, or else you're pushing rank. There's nowhere in between, right? There's literally nowhere in between. And a large portion of this is, I get bored. I can go on a win streak of like 10 games in a row or 12 games in a row, right? And clear the match pass and do all that sort of stuff, which I think is too easy to clear because you've got, you're able to actually do the AI matches and sim it. But I get bored with the game. So then I start tweaking things. I start changing formation, managers. I start doing different things, stupid things. Because I get bored of not just winning, but of playing the same method of winning games. And I'm not saying that you can have fun. I really do enjoy this game, warts and all. I still play it. No one has a gun to my head forced me to play this game. I still enjoy playing this game. But I 100% think we need to have something to grind. Whether it's in the shape of getting cards, coins, whatever it is. Check out part 1 of this video when we talk about a lot of content where we delve into a little bit more detail about what we have on the graphic on our screen here. But let me know what you guys think. I think that's my biggest thing with the game at the moment. Like, even with all the gameplay stuff, we have nothing to distract us from the gameplay issues, which means that the gameplay issues become more and more, of a bigger issue all the time. I genuinely feel now, I'm not asking for the game to become more, like casual. I don't even think that that's the way to go in terms of the gameplay. I just feel that when you're playing, every hour you spend in the game, you should be working towards something. Not giving us free cards when we log in and press X 3 times and take a penalty once. I'm talking about giving us something to actually grind that we're working towards from over 2 weeks, over a month, whatever it is. Because I get bored. I don't know about you guys, but I'm at the age now, man, where I don't have time to play 50 hours a week just spamming games, right? Maybe I'm using that as an excuse because my skill level is just not as high as it used to be before. But I think that's me being 100% real with you, lads. I just don't have the time to grind, or else I would have to really change my channel, And if there was something to grind, that would be something that you could actually contemplate. If I was able to say, right, I want to get top 500 in Division 1 every month because it'll be good for the channel and it will be good because we're getting good rewards that other people mightn't have. But at the moment, there's literally no incentive for you to grind at all. So if you guys want to see more on that, check out part 1. If you guys enjoyed this video, let me know in the comments below. Give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel if you're new here, and of course, get in touch in the comments below. I'm going to be doing a community what needs to be changed as well, so have your say, and we'll talk to you soon. Peace.